Amidst all the talk about growing intolerance and writers returning their awards in protest, author Aatish Taseer says he also has experienced intolerance recently when he was, well, eating out.
Taseer, who has been shortlisted for the DSC Prize for South Asian Literature 2016, told NDTV he would not listen to anyone who told him to go to Pakistan.
You know, it's an interesting time to be a writer in India because there's been so much of the award wapsi and so much of the intolerance debate. You were away, of course, for most of that, but
for some of it.
For some of it, yeah. So, but what did you think about all that was happening when you're living in New York? So, what did it look like?
It looked very bad from a distance. It looked very bad from a distance, but that doesn't mean that it is as bad as it is. I do think that after Dadri, the Prime Minister's silence was pretty shameful. And it created a space, when he didn't speak, it created a space where civil society or journalism had to step in. I mean, you were basically saying, if there isn't a pushback from the society, then this thing would go unnoticed or unremarked on. So he did it kind of invite a reaction. Now, obviously, like, we know that there's an opportunism involved. We know that some of the people who were leading the protest would never have wanted him to be prime minister. So, of course, these things then they can then snowball and become like almost an attempt to derail a democratically elected government or stop it from functioning. So the thing can get way out of hand. But at that point, I was very proud that the Indian reaction was so strong. You know, it made you feel that you can't really mess with this country on certain...
Was it also the first kind of time that usually writers are accused of being away in their, in their ivory towers, or writing away? Was it also in a long time writers getting involved in a political movement, making a political comment about something, engaging with something that is happening right now?
Absolutely. I mean, I do think that there's a wonderful book, in fact, that Shwapan Das Gupta put me onto by I think Shills, and it talks about how the Indian intellectual has always been afraid for almost like 100 years of being too aloof, of not engaging with the political reality and of feeling deracinated, feeling irrelevant. And I'm sure at that point writers must have felt deeply relevant, But I mean, it's the job of a writer to be engaged, especially in a country like India. You have no business being too good for politics.